Coming up next, we're live as a brush fire sparks in the backcountry. Firefighters are putting out hotspots as extreme heat keeps crews on alert countywide.
It's officially the end of summer. Come join us at the beach.
Relief from the heat. We go in search of portable air conditioners and fans.
With several new apartment complexes in the pipeline for Claremont Drive, people living around here say it's going to create havoc on an already stressed parking situation.
And meet a San Diego man whose mission is to teach the world how to grow their own food.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. Right now, firefighters are still hard at work in the East County after a brush fire broke out earlier today. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan.
And I'm Anna Laurel. Marcella and Carlo are off tonight. The Caesar fire broke out about noon north of the 78 near Ramona Trails Drive in the Witch Creek area.
CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez is live near Ramona tonight with what's happening there. Jasmine?
Well, fire crews are still out here right now. They're working to put out those hot spots. We've even seen some areas on the hillside that smoke is still flowing up from. We're going to go ahead and zoom in. We're going to try to give you guys a closer look and so you can see the fire crews out there right now. Now, fire crews, they made progress on this fire very quickly, and CAL FIRE tells me they stopped its spread within about 1.5 hours. Now, fire officials say today's gusty winds and heat caused the fire to move quickly in the beginning. Air crews helped to stop its forward spread at just 50 acres, and no structures were destroyed. Now, we've seen SDG and E out here working to replace power poles and get power restored. People with homes outside the fire perimeter are allowed to return home. Now, the evacuation order remains in place for those in the fire's immediate perimeter. We spoke with CAL FIRE about an hour ago, who says the fire started near the roadway.
This was a roadside start. This was a vehicle, not an intentional thing, but there's essentially a cap that holds on the hubcap that got superheated, went into the grass, and that's where the fire actually started.
Which he says goes to show how small things can have a big impact. Now, we've also talked with residents who evacuated their homes earlier today.
She said it started over here. They just saw smoke. I said, get the kids out and get out of there, and I'll head home. And sure enough, came home the back ways. They were all over it. As soon as I called, they said, we're on it. And they had 6 or 7 helicopters. They're doing a great job.
And firefighters are expected to stay out here until all of those hot spots are completely put out. Fire officials tell me they're hopeful that everyone who is still evacuated will be able to return back home tonight. Reporting live near Ramona, Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. And breaking news out of Riverside County, crews in Sept are fighting a brush fire that's grown to 500 acres. The Fairview fire broke out just after 3:30 this afternoon. Evacuations are in effect for some of the foothill areas where this is burning. And according to CAL FIRE, several homes already burned on one street alone. We're told crews rushed at least one person to the hospital with burns to the arms, back, and face. Of course, we'll continue to monitor that fire for you throughout the night.
Meantime, more good news when it comes to the Border 32 fire near Dulzura. We have now learned it's 100% contained. More than 4,400 acres burned since the fire broke out last week. 10 structures were destroyed, including 3 homes. All evacuation orders and road closures have been lifted. We're still working to find out what caused the fire.
And the heat that's fueled those fires is here to stay a little longer.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis here early with your first forecast. And Carlene, tell us if records were broken today.
Not today, but we definitely had some above seasonal heat. We're feeling the heat out there, still holding on to triple digits. Also, those 90s going strong with the 80s right along the coast. You had a high today of 88 degrees for Encinitas, the same for Oceanside, 89 for downtown. You're talking about 102 in Alpine as well as Ramona and in Valley Center, even locked into those 90s across the mountains. So as we go through tomorrow's forecast, we're still talking about a warm night and then transitioning into yet another scorcher for tomorrow. It's pretty warm out there, especially when you're talking about downtown at 83 degrees. We do have a few high clouds out there and a little bit more recovery when it comes to relative humidity values. They were pretty low, but they're going to start to pick up a little bit more as we go into the overnight hours, especially closer towards the coast. For tomorrow, you're still locked into those 80s right along the coast, as well as 101 for Ramona, 96 degrees for Escondido, the same for El Cajon. We had an extension when it comes to the excessive heat warning. It's going to go a little bit longer. I'll let you know just how long coming up. Jesse, Anna.
All right, Carlene, thank you.
Right now, a flex alert is in effect for the 6th day in a row. Cal ISO, who manages the state's power grid, is asking us to conserve power until 10 tonight.
Cal ISO says people have been good at cutting back so far, but says we actually need to conserve about 2 to 3 times more than we have been to meet this high demand right now.
We have now entered the most intense phase of this heat wave. Forecasted demand for Monday and Tuesday is at all-time record levels, and the potential for rotating outages has increased significantly.
So until 10 o'clock tonight, Cal ISO is asking you, turn off the lights, set your thermostat to 78 degrees, avoid charging those electric vehicles, and avoid using large appliances like your washing machine, your dishwasher, all that stuff. Another flex alert will also go into effect tomorrow. And you may have been one of the hundreds of thousands of people headed to the beach this holiday weekend. It was also a busy weekend for lifeguards. As CBS 8's Ariana Cohen tells us, there were water rescues and people on the sand who suffered heat exhaustion.
The sun is out, the water is a nice 73 degrees, makes it a great way to cool off, and a busy Labor Day for both beachgoers and lifeguards.
All hands on deck type of a weekend.
San Diego lifeguards have extra seasonal staff workers and guards on deck on this Labor Day.
If you are stuck in a rip current, go ahead and wave for help. Do not panic and try to swim parallel to the beach.
They made numerous rescues and even helped many people suffering from heat exhaustion.
The whole weekend's been extremely busy. We've had all the elements in play with the very hot, humid temperatures, warm ocean temps. It's always important to stay hydrated, but especially with this type of heat, we definitely want to drink a little bit more water early and often throughout the day. Don't wait until you get thirsty, start drinking it before you get thirsty.
And it's not just the heat.
Be patient when it comes to parking.
Parking can be a struggle too. But we met a few lucky drivers.
First spot we looked at.
How many minutes?
Oh,
it was really easy.
3 minutes from the time we saw it to the time we actually got in.
We got lucky.
Wow, how lucky
We always have that. We always do that.
I'm pretty lucky. I'm gonna get one.
Look at my spot right here.
Oh, thanks. See? Woo!
It worked out in her favor.
See, I told you. It's all about that lucky vibe.
Oh man, I should have charged them $50 for this parking space, but anyway, I'm glad I made their day. Happy Labor Day, everyone.
And some not so lucky ones.
Probably about 10, 15 minutes.
And any luck?
No luck. Circling around and around. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if it's worth it at this point. That's what happens on Labor Day, right?
Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Now, this weather has made sleeping miserable for a lot of us across the county. Some people are finally saying enough is enough, and they're now willing to spend hundreds of dollars on portable air conditioners. But as CBS 8's Steve Price found out, finding one is easier said than done.
It's another day of ridiculous heat, so the goal today, pick up a portable air conditioner. It turns out we're not the only one with that idea.
The store is huge. After wandering down several aisles, I thought a sign for ceiling fans might blow me in the right direction. But no, the good news, I got in my steps for the day. The bad news, no AC units.
Not only do they not have portable air conditioners, they are also out of fans in this store. I asked an employee about that. He said they put some out just yesterday, but customers were like piranhas, snatching them up quickly. Next stop, Walmart in Lakeside. How hot is it out here?
Too hot. Too hot.
Do you ever remember San Diego this hot this long?
No, not this long. Nope. It's new. Definitely new. I'm ready for it to be a cool 70.
Good news, we did find fans. Unfortunately, they are out of portable air conditioners. That said, they do have plenty of these portable heaters. Those are not in short supply. All right, no luck at Home Depot, no luck at Walmart. Let's go ahead and try Lowe's. There you go. So this is exciting. Lowe's has a lot of fans. What they don't have is portable air conditioners. An employee told me I needed to be here 4 days ago. By the way, those fans were going fast. Brandon Evans picked up 2 of them.
It's quite hot where we are, yeah.
All right, last stop, Target. Will we hit the bullseye here?
Once again, we found air purifiers, but no air conditioners. And fans? Hello? The shelves were empty, but all was not lost. because this Target sells food. Quick but appreciated relief. All right, no luck inside any store, so let's try online. Home Depot will ship its bestseller right to my door, but the earliest it will arrive is next week. Amazon also has them, but the quickest delivery is September 8th, and hopefully this will all be over by then.
I don't know, but it feels like I live in Florida again.
In Lakeside, Steve Price, CBS 8.